envoy!
Devour!
Watch your back! Armor's too weak here.
That's done? Who's hungry?
Yeah.
Point for you!
That was a close one.
What? What in Remergon's 10 frosty balls are you doing here? How did you even find this place? Well, I don't smell his rum-sick flop sweat on the wind, so he can't be nearby. He must have sent you to do his dirty work. Go on then. Try to kill me. I know that's why you're here. I knew that old drunk would come looking around eventually. He's been trying to kill me for years. The man's obsessed. He told you about that. Oh, look at you, Silver Tongue. It was Koa and I who robbed him. Taue just stood around while we did it. I'm not sure he even noticed. Nagunu's been trying to knock off me and Koa ever since. He told you he was a merchant, right? Well, he lied to you. We used to run guns. When the powers that be were fighting over Deadfire, we'd buy or steal munitions from Rawatai and sell them to the Republics. After the mortar fell, Nagunu started looking for a new master, and found a number of willing souls in Aedyr. Then your countrymen brought those same guns to the Living Lands and pointed them back at me. Couldn't have that. So Koa and I helped Nagunu set up one last big deal, stole the money, and dumped our hold into the sea. Sure, but when the plague's over, where do you think all those weapons would go? But that's old news, Envoy. What does Nagunu want? I knew it! Hold on. How did you find out? That's just his style. He's too much of a coward to come after me directly. But how is he gonna do it? A little reunion. Cute. What did Taue and Koa say to that? Naturally. Koa never saw a boot he wasn't keen to lick. And Koa? Well, my answer's the same either way. No. I'm sure he put on a good show for you. And shit, maybe he really is lonely. But if he's been researching poisons up in the little lighthouse, plotting our demise, I can't risk it. So no, I won't share a drink with him, and you can tell him I said so. You mean poison him instead? Yeah. Yeah, I see how that could work. He doses our drinks, you switch the cups, bam! But how do I know I can trust you? The crazy thing is, I actually believe you. You spared that guy who tried to kill you, and saved Fior from the Steel Garrote. You may be the Emperor's envoy, but you're not his dog. Alright, I'll go to the captain's reunion. And when the time comes, you switch the drinks. Got it? Okay. Here we go. See you in Thirdborn, envoy.
Holy gods! Someone actually came! Please, you have to help my friends! They're gods! They're monsters! They were good people, and I can't, I'm not... Their souls can't rest like this, and I'm not strong enough to put them down myself. Please, they didn't deserve... They were... My gods. How did this happen? Thank you. You're a good person. You're better than me. Find me when it's over.
Think of it this way. They're already gone. We're just taking care of the remains.
Stinging wasp!
Nice!
We see you!
Branch breaks. Scourge supply! Invaders in the garden!
I couldn't do anything. I'm gods. I'm useless. But you helped them. They can rest now. How did you find us? What are you doing out here? We left the city. The Dream Scourge. We thought if we only got away. And now they're gone. Who are you? What do you want with me? Thirdborn? It wasn't safe here. Why would it be safe in... Wait. Old Nagunu? But I thought he wanted us dead. I don't understand. Are the others... Are they alive? No, it's just... Nagunu. We parted on... bad terms. Our last deal, it... went wrong. He thought Ruanga and I did it. He said... if he ever saw us again, we were dead. After our last deal, I couldn't stay. It didn't seem safe to stay. He wanted things out of life that Ruanga and I didn't. Money, citizenship in your empire, a big manor house in High Crown's port. And he'd do, well, unsavory things to get them. She wanted to stay close to Thirdborn, in case something needed to be done. But there were too many people there for me. When the Dream Scourge came, I just felt better outside. Safe. Far away from... everything. What? But that's... Oh, Ruanga knows something, doesn't she? Both of you do. Oh, that makes sense. And Ruanga's going to turn it back around on him, isn't she? Maybe it's time to stop. Stop running. Stop hiding. Turn and face things. Face Nagunu. All right. I'll go. I'll go to Thirdborn. As soon as I can find the courage.
You've got people looking out for you. Take courage in that.
Thank you all. I'll try.
I hope it works out for him.
Why don't we go back to the swordfish? See if the others made it.
Who needs fabric? We still have stock.
Oh, you're back. What do you want? Really? Which one? One less thing for me to worry about. Thank you. Enjoy your skates. One less thing for me to worry about. Thank you. Enjoy your skates. Oh, wait. That's everything off the board, isn't it? Good job. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go pass out.
If you're looking for the captain and his crew, they're upstairs. Two straight rums, and two from the captain's private reserve.
Look at us. Who would have thought? Not me. Not me.
What a pleasure it is to see you both.
What?
It's fine. It's all gonna be fine. Water under the keel, right, boys?
You are so very right, Ronga.
I'm so confused.
My favorite envoy. Thank you for bringing us back together. And you even got dear Ronga here. I hope you didn't have to twist her arm too violently.
Ah, you old bastard. I'm glad to be here.
You are?
Are you kidding me? I wouldn't pass up this little reunion for anything.
I gotta know what the envoy paid you to say that.
Nonsense, nonsense! We're all here of our own volition, thanks entirely to our most powerful friend.
I'll drink to that.
Oh, but I nearly forgot. Did the bartender send you up without drinks? It's not a reunion without a toast. Excellent, excellent. Here, envoy, a little something from my travels all those years ago. May it bring fortune to your journeys too. Now, my friends, let us drink to faith, to fraternity, and to getting what we deserve.
Captain, I think your rum's gone off.
Really? I think it's rather good.
How are you feeling, Captain?
Can't breathe.
Tawai? Captain?
Ah, I love when a plan works out.
What did you do?
Cheer up, Koa. That could have been you on the floor.
Oh my gods. They're really dead.
Well done, Envoy. I was right to put my trust in you. Get out of town, for starters. After? I don't know. Maybe we head to Paradise, see if any of the locals need a couple of eager gun hands.
We're gonna get arrested. They're gonna hang us from the cliffs.
Come on, Koa. Let's get while the getting's good. Thanks again, Envoy. You're not bad for an Aedyran.
Good idea. Wish I'd thought of it first.
Yoo-hoo! Over here, dearie. Ah, there you are. It's rather rude of you to keep a lady waiting. I'll forgive you, though. It gave me a chance to dip into my notes about the Circle of Archmagi. One does not simply waltz into an Archmage's domain unprepared. Tell me, dearie, how much do you know about Ringrim? Oh, lovely. Then you know what we're up against. Oh, her spells are legendary. The Circle of Archmagi are the most powerful magical beings in Eora. Whatever the reason, the fact that she's here at all is significant. Oh, Aldra's titties. The Circle sent the Archmage of Terror. Oh, she's just brilliant. What's not to admire? There's no one in all of Eora like her. And she's come all this way to Nakukubel. But I've no idea why an illusionist would care for godless artifacts. Yours truly excluded, of course. There must be something in there of interest to Ringrim. Probably something powerful. I knew I liked you, darling. I'll be with you every step of the way. Those Steel Garrote bastards stole all my research about the Godless. They'll get to the garden first over their dead bodies. I can show you the way to Ringrim's domain, but we should travel lean. The less of us there are, the less likely she'll take notice. You'll need me to get you in the door, so who's staying behind?
I promise we'll get into the right amount of trouble.
Perfect. Oh, this is going to be fun. For the camp of an official Aedyr envoy, I was expecting a little more. A proper bed, at least. But I suppose this will do for now. As long as you have a bath, of course. When the mood is right, I find I like everything. I'm going to write Quilici tonight. Make sure he misses me. But, as riveting as it is to complain about our accommodations, I imagine you have another topic in mind? I'm the only buyer you'll find here, and I already have the jar. A lesson for next time, darling. It's always worth some haggling. Unfortunately, it's been quite some time since I've met another who focused on the godless as I do. And I imagine I'd be more knowledgeable on the subject than anyone else you could find. I've yet to be burned in a single flame trap, and I don't intend to start anytime soon. Fair guess, though. When I got my first grimoire as a child, I was trying out some of the fancy new spells I'd been given. I was attempting a simple illusion spell, but I must have slurred my words. The next thing I know, everything was on fire. I mean, my arm wasn't the only casualty. What is childhood but for silly things? When else can you get away with arson? My father was able to pull me from the flames as my mother doused them. I burned myself badly enough to give myself some vivid dreams, but the house still stood at the end. Of course. Now I only burn those that deserve it, like mosquitoes and university administrators. The only lasting damage was my burn mark and the dreams. Do you do that often?
More often than you think. Because you'd think it should never happen, but it does.
Well, next time give the girl some warning, will you? I like it, but not everyone is as open-minded as I am. Thankfully, the dreams are nothing too terrible. Just the usual things. Not studying for an exam, having all your teeth fall out. They're not nearly as enjoyable as my more provocative dreams. Oh. Well, just be sure to have a quick release knot if you ever make that fantasy reality. Someone should learn from my mistakes. I certainly have no intention to.
Goodness, we're feeling very honest today, aren't we?
As delightful as you are, we've much to do and less time to do it in. Shall we go?
Yaxley, when all of this is behind us, are you going back to Fior Mesivernal?
It's hard to imagine leaving forever, especially with Quilici still there. What about you? Vidaro's reversed your exile. You could return.
I haven't decided yet. On the one hand, it's tempting.
On the other, nothing's really changed. And you'd still have the same problems waiting for you there.
Exactly. You understand.
You're a brilliant woman, Giada. Whatever you decide, you'll be right.
You're too kind to me, Yaxley. I don't deserve you.
For all you put up with from me, I'm sure I could be kinder. But I'm always happy to help. Oh, Envoy, might I steal a moment of your time? Well, it's the waiting that makes the payoff so delicious, don't you agree? Look, I lost more research than I'd like to count. But Fiora and its people are safe. That's what matters. Thank you, Envoy. I don't know how you managed it, but whatever you did, you averted disaster. That being said, your ambassador is going to get an earful, and possibly a fistful, next time we're in Paradise. That's what happens when you're the breadbasket of the living lands. Sometimes things get stale. At least we were able to get everyone to safety. Though with everything happening in Thirdborn, safe might be relative. At least I know Temerity will keep an eye on them. I think she knows what'll happen if she doesn't. Well, you're not far off. My plan has a little less whaling, I think. Oh, I didn't move to Fjord until I was 20. Or somewhere around there, give or take a few years. You see, Emerald Stair has Naku Tedek. For a young and aspiring godless scholar, it was a godsend, if you'll forgive the pun. And, as a young at heart godless scholar, I've traveled outside the stair to other ruins. That's how I met Temerity. Thirdborn's close to Naku Kubel. And a girl's gotta eat sometime. Yes, why did I choose to settle down with a gorgeous scientist who loves me? What a mystery. I still go out often. I've catalogued many ruins, but there are always more. And coming home to a warm welcome is lovely. You should try it sometime, darling. Oh, part of it is my sparkling personality, of course, but a larger part of it is time. It's hard to hate someone when they drop by your lab with lunch after you've forgotten to eat again. As much as I'd love to, you don't travel with the kitchen. I can't promise anything. My mother always said that the way to a man's heart was through his stomach. Quilici and I got together the old-fashioned way, though. I saw a beautiful man across a smoky tavern. Then I dazzled him with my delightful personality. Then he showed me an abandoned ruin outside of town, and I was hooked. Oh, it's not a fairy tale, darling. We've been happy for the most part. Any rough patches got smoothed over well enough. I only thought about killing him once or twice. He's probably thought the same a bit more. It's hard to believe that things have changed so much recently. Any sense of safety just went poof. It makes you wonder how everything will turn out. Well, when we left, Vidaro seemed to have gotten the idea. Finally. Still, you're right. Vidaro was far too slow to act. At least Quilici is with them. So I know someone competent is there. Thank you, Envoy. I feel a little less frazzled. I've got a lot to think on. Talk to you soon? Try not to have too much fun without me. How can I help, darling? Don't mind if I do. I wish we could have done more for them. Capo and Chico, I mean. But if I were in his shoes, I hope I'd make the same choice. Though I'd like to pick a more fun way to die. Of course. Even when it's expected, or even preferable, it's always a tragedy. I can only hope that at the end I have some control over things. That I can go out as Yatsley. And don't you forget it. But it gives you something to think about. I mean, not everyone gets to come back like you did, Envoy. Well, that's all I had to say. I'll let you get back to whatever you were doing. Unless there's something else you want to chat about? How can I help, darling? Well, I suppose you've earned that much. And I do enjoy rewarding tenacity. Though between your dreams and mine, it's a wonder anyone gets any sleep around here. You remember that I nearly burned my family home down when I was young? It was an accident, and I paid for it. My parents refused to buy me more spellbooks for years. Well, shortly after all that fuss, the dream began. It started at first with a fire, just flames crackling, and a feeling of safety. I thought it was a little weird, but nice. But then the dream kept coming back, night after night. I learned more every time. I saw that it was a fire in a hearth. And that hearth was in an old library. I assumed it was a library, at least, to explain why there were so many tablets lining the walls. Oh, everything from dry historical recountings to treatises on agricultural techniques. No romances, though. Whoever filled the library must have been allergic to them. No, never actively. I had read them all previously, if that makes any sense. That's actually how I learned the Aedyr language. Just woke up with that knowledge. Which is very useful when you can find no written records. In the library, there's just one person, but they're wearing a hood, so I never see their face. They do the same thing every night. They curl up in a chair by the fire, hold a tablet to their chest, and then the fear comes. The paralyzing, all-encompassing fear of something. Oh yes. Nothing strikes fear in the heart of Kith like principles and procedures of animal husbandry. A low, deep banging starts, and it rattles through your bones and shakes you to your core. And it replaces the beat of your heart with this droning on and on and on until you forget every other sound you've ever heard.
A beat. Steel feet on the shore. They come by night.
And then, as it just gets louder and louder, and right before it gets there, I wake up.
You've been listening to too many of Giada's ghost stories.
And let me tell you, waking up in a cold sweat does nothing for my fur. I could always use more. It's strange. I've not told many of the details of my dream. I suppose I must like you quite a bit, Envoy. Don't let it inflate your ego too much. You know, Envoy, we've traveled enough that I think I've gotten a handle on your style. Style of fighting, I mean. Your fashion sense is more opaque. But listening to your incantations, they could use some tightening up. I could probably teach you a thing or two, if you're up for it. What do you say? How about I show you a little bit of everything? What? Out of breath already? Talk to one of the boys. See if they can help with your stamina, dear. Well, I've taught you all I can. Let's hope you put it to good use. Oh, you might know this, Marius.
I might.
How do you get dust stains out of your clothes?
Just wear clothes that won't be ruined by dust stains.
Wonderful advice for the future, dearie. However, I still have a dust stain on my pants.
Right. Grind up some bone slate, squeeze a few hemp flowers into it, and rub it into the stain like you're trying to start a fire.
I'm glad we arrived at a real answer, finally. Thank you, darling. You're a delight, as always. You think those Aedyrans were onto something? Or were they onto something before you ended their studies? Do you think they could have cured the Dream Scourge? Dearie, the best science has a little danger attached. I just hope we made the right decision. A wrong choice here means that people die, Envoy. Perspective won't matter much to the dead. Had you left them to their own devices, who knows what we would have gained? A cure might sound far-fetched, but what if they found treatments for the Dream Scourge? And even other ailments? But our loss, I suppose. Well, that's all I had to say. I'll let you get back to whatever you were doing. Unless there's something else you want to chat about? How can I help, darling? These sudden changes in climate always mess with my coiffure. Does Aedyr have good fur maintenance products? Do you have a contact for that? Now, imagine that every inch of you is frizzing up. Truly, just a good long brushing through all my fur alone would do wonders. I've got some time before we see Quilici again, at least. It'll give me time to find something to remind him of what he's missing. In life, you make your own entertainment. I enjoy scandalizing the small-minded when I can. Quilici and I got used to the stairs early on. Thankfully, at least in Fjord, those stopped eventually. After 30 years, it's hard to still be surprised by us just drinking at the Magpie. Oh, she was still young. Quilici offered to help her study for and prepare her thesis as a favor to her parents. She was over day and night for months, and, well, now she's family. We adore her. All things considered, it's hard to complain about my life in Fjord. You're too sweet. As much as I enjoy our little chats, dearie, we should really get going. Oh, but if you do end up finding any liniments, be sure to help a girl out. Careful what you wish for, darling. So, the Godless, or the Akida, as they called themselves, were the original folks who lived in the Living Lands. They arrived on the shores of a new land and settled there, living with the land instead of trying to tame it. You sound certain. Well, that would align with my own findings. But how could you know that? Oh, well, you should definitely trust that. But dubious metaphysics notwithstanding, you corroborate my theory. The Godless are so singular. Their art and architecture, you never see it in Rawatai or Ishamatal or, well, Aedyr. But in their artwork, they reference escaping, fleeing, seeking refuge, so they must have come from somewhere. My guess, they originally came from Yesua. Yesua, a continent, cut off from the rest of the world, hidden by eternal storms, one of the 3 hubs of the Aedyr Empire. 10 years ago, you could say it wasn't real, that it was a dream, but they said the same of Ukaiso. Suddenly, the appearance of a mythical land doesn't seem so implausible. There was some kind of schism, an ideological one. From what I can glean, the Godless were staunchly against the gods, hence their name. There are even some not-so-kind murals of the gods. It seems like the Godless really took their anti-theism seriously. I know. Well, I think we've covered everything, don't you? Rather, as much as I think you'll withstand. Hope you enjoyed talking about this as much as I did, dearie. How can I help, darling? Sweet dreams, envoy.
I suppose if you're on a wild goose chase, there are worse places to do it. At least I know how to deal with those sorts of things. Rope, lantern, extra water skins. Yatsli's got you going in all sorts of abandoned ruins. Who knows what's down there? More questions, most likely. And spiders. Nothing, I'm fine. Forget I said anything. I just want to make sure we've covered all the options before we dive headfirst into another deadly ruin. Right. Just keep it in mind, I guess. Anyway. Not before I've done some reading.
That's done? Who's hungry?
This is it. Ringrim was definitely here.
What gave it away? The tableau of frozen corpses? The Archmage of Terror is many things, but subtle is not one of them.
Yes, but look at them. The artistry is sublime. Can you imagine having enough finesse to make all this?
Whatever you say, Yardsley. Regardless, we didn't come across this by accident. The Archmage is trying to frighten us. Successfully, I might add.
A spell. And a very clever one. Ringrim's using her illusions to make people choose to stay away. Everyone except us. Yes! That's exactly why Ringrim has made a weapon of it.
Can you open the way for us? I assume you have at least one trick up your sleeve.
Of course I probably can. All spells have a counter. You just have to know what it is. But we can figure that out later. Right now, we have to focus on what's at the end of that passage. Precisely. Chances are we'll die. But if we don't, we stop Ludwig and get into the ruins. So, win-win.
I like our odds. Especially with you around.
Let's get going. Oh, and stay close.
Morbid, disturbing, and intimidating. But I like it.
That's done. I'm covered in fur and even I'm freezing. Are her illusions really so powerful? Stay close. Ringrim's trying to scare us off, but we won't let her, will we? Oh, what a frosty welcome.
It's either too hot or too cold. Miss Emerald Stair.
It's just a trick, envoy. A well-crafted cold trick. Keep moving. Beautiful specimen. Any student of Zarub's and their weaponry would be thrilled.
Ah, visitors. Do you know what this moment calls for? A beautiful, macabre story that lingers in the mind. You wish to find me in my tower? You'll have to wait until I tell this tale.
We're not getting up there. Unless Yardsley sprouts a pair of wings.
There's got to be a way. Let's snoop around.
Land shaped in the dreamer's image, not with stone or axe, but with essence. Songs of ancient magic. could we sing to them?
What, like it's hard? That's done.
Once, a very important statue fell to pieces, and an entire village perished because it wouldn't put the statue back together again.
Oh good, skeletons. Just the thing to brighten up the place. You asked for it, without even hurtful.
Unseek!
We're in no position to argue. She has all the power here. I was worried for a second.
What, like it's hard?
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes cold reason is necessary.
Out of stone. It's quite realistic, isn't it?
And warm to the touch. Strange, though not unpleasant.
Archmagi truly are inscrutable creatures, aren't they?
Logically, I know these were put here to frighten us. And yet, I'm still frightened.
Protect the envoy.
Walk like it's hard. That's done.
The village was on the verge of destruction, but still they argued.
Interesting. The way it's sculpted, it's like he's reaching out or begging.
Maybe it just wants to be held. Either way, it's unsettling.
Oh, don't fret. It'll all be worth it.
We're doing a lot of work to impress someone more powerful than us. I hope it's worth it.
I'm sure they go somewhere. Let's go see where.
We've got company!
Get off me!
Enemies to the right!
Yeah.
village wanted so bad to do the right thing.
You're here for my Aedyr piece, aren't you? You can't have it!
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you too, dearie.
I'll die without the Aedyr. Please, don't take it from me. I don't want to die. I don't remember anymore. I was in pain for so terribly long. But the Aedyr has kept me alive. Don't let them take it away. The other villagers, they want me to give them the Aedyr piece. They say it'll save us. But if they take it, I'll die. And I don't want to die. Please!
I don't think they can hear us. They're like a song stuck in your head, repeating the same verse.
I was dying before I found the Aedyr piece, but it's been keeping me alive. I can't go far from it. If I do, it begins to hurt again. I told the other villagers I need it. I understand everyone's in danger, but I don't want to die. Don't take the Aedyr piece from me. I'll do anything. Please! Is there no other way? Why does it have to be me who dies? Please, please, no.
If the village had been as sensible as you, they would have lived.
That poor man. Was he a real person once? Did all that happen to him?
Whether he was real or not, he was put here to prove a point. Either way, it's cruel.
Well, for better or worse, I can't wait to find out more. Child's play. Walk like it's hard.
Those stone pieces we collected should fit in here. No doubt they were removed so we'd go looking for them.
This must be the statue mentioned in the story. Look, it's even missing its heart, hand, and head, which is exactly what we have. Let's take another look at that book of yours. There once stood a village protected by a statue. It kept the air crisp, the land fertile, and the people safe. For a time, the village prospered. For a time, there was the thought that the winter would never come. But then the statue shattered, and winter did come, and the village could not make a decision to save itself. She's warning us not to end up like the village. She wants us to make logical decisions for our own good. In the story, the village died because it couldn't make the decision and the sacrifice to save itself. They couldn't separate the weeping man from the statue piece and just let him die, not even to save the whole village. And so, everyone perished, because they made the mistake of having a heart. Life can drive us to make painful choices, can't it? Anyway, this is fascinating. This is more than just a statue. I think it uses Aedyr as a source of power.
I could have managed without the statue, but to each their own.
Perhaps. but it might also send us somewhere else. Clearly, we can't physically move ourselves up to Ringrim's tower, but magically? That could be a different story. With the Aedyr pieces connected to the statue, they might be powering her magic. Like animancy, but much bigger. Ringgrim said that if we could do what the village could not, put the statue back together, we'd find our way to the tower. What if this statue was meant to move us from here to there? Yes! Oh, I knew you'd be fun. Well, what are you waiting for? Put the pieces in! Do you know how many people ever get to meet an archmage? I don't understand how you are so calm. Ready or not, let's go meet an archmage. We've got all the pieces. Quick, quick, put them in. I want to see how all of this works.
Tread lightly. The Archmage is expecting us, but that doesn't necessarily mean we're welcome.
We're going into an Archmage's tower. It'll all be fine. Or at least exciting.
Oh, you made it. Unfortunately, I still have reading to do. Amuse yourself with these skeletons while I finish this paragraph.
That had better be a really good book.
What did you expect from an Archmage?
Seek!
Well done.
Oh, look at the three of you. It's like something out of a book. A godlike of an unknown deity, an exiled animancer, and a rainbow-colored wizard. All looking for a garden, from what I've gleaned.
It is her. We felt the pluck of her fingers outside our door, searching. For us? Our prison? Who is she? What does she seek?
My little puzzle was very clever, wasn't it? A challenge and a parable, all at once.
Well, now that we're done with the formality of defeating the skeletons...
Flattery gets you nowhere here. I want to see what you are on the inside. Too often, mortals like to hide from their own truths. I like them brought to the surface. What did you think I was trying to tell you with the puzzle? Indeed. Omelets need shattered eggs, after all. The point of the parable is quite simple. Sentimentality is a privilege. The village would have lived if they had chosen to sacrifice one dying soul for the good of many living ones. If it comes to it, yes. I hope you'll choose pragmatism over sentimentality. More than anything, the whole challenge was for you to understand how I think. No one truly matters in the long run. Not even me, or the other archmages. It's what we leave behind. What matters is that our lives buy the world more history, more beauty, more time to create interesting things. Do you understand? No, you don't understand. Your desires aren't important here. I want you to understand my position. Most people find it difficult to relate to an archmage. And if you cannot do so, it will complicate my attempts to communicate with you. I hope you're not intending to enter the ruins. I won't open the path. Somehow I don't think that's happening. The Death Guard might certainly try, but... no. I came to the Living Lands because the sickness here, this dream scourge, fascinated me. This plague shouldn't exist. It can't, and yet it does. The essence of the Living Lands is falling into chaos and entropy. It's more powerful than anything I've seen. I suspect it has something to do with how the Aedyr has been severed from the rest of the world. I believe the answers lie in the ruins, but the essence there is so strong it's blocking my spell work, which has never happened before. Ever. No one enters Naku Kubel until I get to the bottom of this. Sorry. Curiouser and curiouser. What is so special about you, godlike? You have my interest. Show me if you live up to it. Are you? Oh my. I didn't think this was possible. Something I don't already know. I can't believe I overlooked this possibility. A god here, alone, trapped in the severed Aedyr. This explains so much. My magic being ineffective, the essence here being so intense. And you, godlike, with your unfamiliar appearance. You're the missing key to the lock, sealing Naku Kubel. Don't take this the wrong way, but in a different life, I'd have flayed you for my study. You are a godlike of this strange, isolated, possibly miserable god. A piece of them resides in you. I have no doubt that like will recognize like. You will open the gates to Naku Kubel, and I will study this metaphysical aberration up close. Go! Find your so-called garden. Report your findings to me. Perhaps there is more to this than either of us alone can see. A little, yes. Mostly I'm just pleased that there are still things I'm ignorant of. It's gotten so tedious of late. A good question, with possibly worrying answers.
Severing Aedyr like this requires mass amounts of essence. The souls of thousands offered up for a singular purpose.
Who knows how many were sacrificed to sever an entire continent? And why? I do intend to find out, though. If there's anything of interest there, I imagine you'll find it.
Oh, hush. You are the envoy of Aedyr. Dirty work is all you do. I wish you luck on your journey, if you believe in such things. Just keep in mind that countless dream thralls are on the same path. I'm sure you'll survive. If not, well, lovely to have met you. I'd focus on survival first, envoy. And you, Orlan, you seem a clever one. Take my grimoire. It will allow you to dispel the barrier I have set before the ruins. You have talent. Not any mage can dispel my illusions. Perhaps when this is over, we should speak again.
You want to speak again? Yeah, of course. Can't wait.
She gave you her grimoire. Be careful with that thing. Who knows what it can do?
The ruins are far in the northwest. The people here have named that area the Deadfall Highlands. No more wasting time. Off you go. Use the teleporter behind me to leave. Or jump, I suppose, if you're feeling grim.
This would make a nice parlor, if you got rid of the corpses.
And off we go! It just happened, right? I didn't imagine it? Ringrim liked me? And my spellcraft! And she gave me her grimoire! Look, isn't it the most beautiful thing you've ever seen? We can only hope. But business first. With Ringgrim's grimoire, I think we can go to the ruins and find the garden.
For once, we've outpaced Ludwig. A rare advantage. I say we use it.
Then there's no time to waste. I must prepare for Naku Kubel. As must you.
Let's hope the ruins are warm. I didn't think to bring a coat.
I've dreamt of exploring Naku Kubel for years. To find out what happened to the godless who built this and why they vanished. Ringgrim did say the ruins were drawing the Dream Thralls.
We found something like this in Naku Tadak. What's their significance?
These are magfolk. They're often found in many godless ruins, but they are definitely not godless. To kill godless, I imagine. Godless ruins are filled with magfolk remains, but no records of them exist in Aedyr lore. I don't think the godless did well against the magfolk.
They seem to be killing machines. But who made them? And to what end?
They pierce. Blood like a fountain. No quarter. Nothing spared.
Wait. Did the voice in your head just talk? What did it say? Oh, I've been there. But usually only after a bottle or two. It's an unnerving thing to lose yourself in another's torments. Are you ready? We're entering one of their holiest places. Who knows what we'll find? Okay. Got my wand, got my grimoire. Let's go already. Worthan Roth.
We remember. They loved and we loved in return. We are nearly free now. We remember. They loved, and we loved in return.
Who's next? Anyone?
Unseat!
Burn the blight! You tear at our bark!
Unseat!
That's done. Walk like it's home. Oh, look at that Aedyr. What else might be here?
The heart of the Aedyr beats. Our veins stir. You are close. Seek the ancient kith who dwell here. They will show you the way.
The Grandor!
An intruder comes.
That's a ghost. That's an Aedyr ghost!
You don't belong here. Why have you come? What business do you have in this place? Tell me, before I strike you down. The gardener grows and grows and grows their reach still, I see.
The gardener? That must be how the ancient Aedyrs referred to their god, to stop it all.
I am Numena, Tebaro Senakis, and guardian of the Aedyr and the living lands. They came swarming, relentless, these juggernauts. So many they stole the heat from the stars. They brought death to our temples. They brought doom to our king. And the sky held no sun as our children screamed.
Oh, I know this. You speak of the Magfolk.
Yes, Story Seeker. Their corpses remain, as do our memories of what they did to us. We would have offered them everything, just to save some piece of us. But they did not speak. The Deathbringers were only there for the slaughter. Our words were burned. Our buildings were broken. Anything that was of Aedyr, they destroyed.
That's why there are no records, no histories.
We fought so hard, but we fell too. Then they trapped our gardener.
Right. A sepulchre of endless night. Bones beneath roots. Stop this. The memory, it scorches our wounds. The light, it blinded us. Why were we so afraid?
The gardener quickens. This hastens our fears. Death hungers and cannot be sated. That which killed the Aedyr wants more slaughter still. So our gardener calls then, begging one more time to be set free.
We wait. They know. They understand. Why do they hinder you?
When the gardener calls, there is no turning away. But you will prove yourself to us through a series of trials. Survive these trials, and you will know the way to the garden. First is a trial of strength. Demonstrate your might against our ancient dead, and earn the right to face the second. You saw. Yes, she was tested. She was trained to build and lead. But she fell, as did all the cities of my people when the Magfolk came. Go now. Your trials begin.
Understand? We just spoke to an ancient Aedyr.
Well, that was certainly a nightmare.
That ghost called you a Tebaru Sanakis. That must be what the Aedyr called their godlikes. I'll have to do a more thorough reading later, but it looks like notes from the artifact. It seems Nakagurel was divinely inspired, so it's Sapadok's fault we got lost out there. Nice of them to give us a little break, isn't it?
They're gathering their strength. We should do the same.
show them. That's the last of them. So much for the first try. On to the second. Now we've got another door open. And another ghost.
You have the gardener's markings, but you are not one of us. You did not fall with us. Why have you come here? Tell me your mind. Tell me what rides in it. The Magfolk sought the gardener too, and our gardener did not want to be found. Our gardener knew what the Magfolk would do, and they broke the world to keep themselves safe. The waters boiled, the land opened, the rivers rose, and we drowned. We broke the pain. We died with them. How did we do this? We bleed, they bleed, the Magfolk strike. How could we pierce the vein? We cannot. We writhe. Why must we feel this again? There were so few of us left when the Magfolk were at our doors. How could you know of this? Yes. Their ways are strange and volatile, and you will need to show wisdom to navigate them. Their ways are not the ways of people. You want a path to the garden? Pass this trial of the mind. Show me how clever you are. We will know the breadth of your wisdom before we let you learn what our gardener truly is.
Whatever gets us answers must be worth it, right?
A trial of the mind. I wonder if there's a clever trick to it.
Don't overthink it. Just go through.
guests.
Who maintains these traps? Ridiculous when you think about it. I can already tell this is going to hurt.
Charge it. Just a little spark. The Aedyrs are being less welcoming than I'd hoped.
What did you expect? They're dead.
They must be trying to protect their gardener. Still, this feels hostile. Judging by this mural, the relationship the Aedyr had with her god was complicated. Perhaps Sapidal was a little moody? This mural almost makes me think things. Looks like a list of building materials. Probably for Naku Kubel itself. Third time's the charm. Another door is revealed. This mural looks idyllic, doesn't it? Sapidal is helping the Aedyrs grow and flourish. They seem happy.
You bear our gardener's mark. Somehow you've proven to have strength and wit. We now see what you represent. We know the truth of you. We cannot risk you causing another calamity. You know of this. Nimana's brethren were mistaken. But we would know what's best for our gardener. We understand what they are. No more words. You have not earned the right. Finish your last trial. You come as a supplicant. You do not have the privilege of questions. Go.
I wonder what's at the end of all these trials. Can't imagine it's good. Of course these trials require a leap of faith.
Gardener's mark.
The Gardener has grown roots into the Outlander.
What do you truly seek with our God?
This is... Oh. Well, seems like some of the construction crew had all kinds of fun. The fur on the back of my neck is standing up.
Somehow you bested our trials. Like vermin, you persist.
Like vermin, you endured. You kept your head.
You live where worthier souls have fallen, but your journey ends here.
Soil hardens. Hesitation. Why do we smell fear? They are here to be found. Why? Why will they not free us?
This is where you die, Outlander. We cannot risk you provoking the Gardener and causing another calamity.
Be that as it may, we still won't risk another. You must perish, Outlander.
We will not have the Gardener break this land again. You cannot convince us otherwise.
Accusations like water. We do not recognize our face. The ripples break. What do they hide from us? Why do they turn away?
Now, lay your life down. We will all rest quietly. The Gardener will not be disturbed.
You say this, but I have no reason to trust you.
Ha! You know of that. I had forgotten. Maybe, just maybe, you may do right by the Gardener. Good fortune. I will not fight you, but you still need it against those who remain.
Stop throwing that weapon!
Anyone else want to die a second time?
Oh, and it looks like we got a prize on the table over there. Let's take a look, shall we? Never seen an Aedyr device like this. These mechanisms, they mark the locations of important sites. It's a map.
Ever closer. We must speak of this.
A map? I can't believe it survived all these years. Just waiting for the right hands to pick it up again.
Perfect. I need time to translate this anyway. There's so much rage in this mural. The Sappadal must have been furious, and the Aedyrs unfortunate bystanders.
think your god would like a word. Try and make it quick.
Come, we yearn for answers. You are here. You heard us in the roots. You seek the garden. You know the way. But the Jabaru Sinakis, they turn from you. You have shown us only kindness and patience. Surely they would welcome you as kin, grafted from the same root. As painful as a wound reopened, yes. We were theirs and they were ours, and we told them to protect the wild and the green. In return, we promised to protect them, and we were true. Always, we protected them. As the tree shelters the sapling, yes, just so. And now, you journey to the garden. Let us offer you another gift, a seedling of power. Our gift is yours to accept or reject. That is all we will say. We will show you our favor. Wait, an intruder. The piercing light. She draws near. The wire. A razor in our throat. Stop her! We writhe. We bleed. She brings the purging fire at her back. She comes to trap us. Out! Out! Send her out! Set us free!
Wake up! Wake up! What happened? Are you all right? What did you do?
While you were unconscious, the Aedyr pillar was not. A great deal of energy passed through it, to parts unknown.
You can't hear all the dream thralls trying to get in now. What happened with Stop It All? Well, that's ominous. But let's worry about that later. Let's deal with the dream thralls first. They're flooding the area, so I think it's a great time to leave. Now! The map points us to Galawain's tusks. We'll find the way to the garden there. We just have to find a godless tower on the southern coast, and boom! There's our entrance into the garden.
We should talk to Marius. He knows the tusks better than anyone. Until then, we must ready ourselves for a fight.
You asked for it!
Let's finish this. We should go. The dream Scourge.
Ori in the brush!
Unseek! Unseek!
Watch your flank! Faster, I said!
Unseek!
The Dream Scourge is upon us.
Back 10!
We should go. Galloway's.
Protect the envoy. Never have it company. Too hot!
We'll get them next time, dear.
You're a child playing at being a hero. You understand none of the forces at work here.
The Circle of Archmagi has overstepped their authority. Again.
I don't know how to explain this any better. This is not a problem to solve with cannons or steam.
No wonder your guard got so angry. I feel the same way when Ludwig's near.
Envoy, I hope you found what you were looking for. Because those ruins are about to be a distant memory. I have eyes in every corner of the living lands. Some more discreet than others. This is a spring from which the Dream Scourge flows, injecting poison into the veins of the island.
No, a cleansing fire. Poison or cure?
The same poison that spread to Fior Messiverno, and even now rots the city from within.
The only poison I see here is you, and I would love nothing more than to purge you from the living lands.
Charming. Stand by my side, and we can strike a blow at the Dream Scourge. And at Sapadal. There are two plagues in the living lands. Help me destroy one, and the other will follow.
Ashes. Nothing of the Aedyr will remain.
We may not burn out the Dream Scourge here, but we can burn out its symptoms and take the fight to your patron.
Spirits cry out, bury the fire, but still they rage.
Hubris. She assumes a great deal about a force she barely understands.
Always thinking with your sword. You zealots never change. I happen to like these ruins. They've been very informative. Without them, I'd never have learned there was a new god in the living lands.
Another reason why they should be destroyed. Sapadal is dangerous, but an archmage is more unpredictable by far.
I do love it when people choose to listen to reason.
I have an alternate solution to the problem at hand.
This should be amusing.
I am not talking to you, am I? Don't interrupt me.
Yes. Honestly, it's quite simple. I can sever the connection between the Aedyr in the ruins and the rest of the living lands. It will isolate the dream-scourged essence and halt the creation of new dream thralls in Shatterscarp. But those that exist will remain. My solution will end the plague in this region, I believe, and keep Ludwine from having to do terrible things to those nice ruins. I knew I liked you for a reason. Yes, there is a catch. It's also what you may call a large one. Severing the Aedyr will require the use of a truly immense amount of essence, which, well, will result in a few deaths.
A few deaths? What about Quilici? And the other Furians? And Quilici?
Gods, you're right.
Gentle sleep. One moment, day. The next, a poppy's dream to carry them to the Garden of Night. They would feel no pain.
I'm so very glad you recall.
Well, in layman's terms, she's going to rip the essence out of a bunch of people in Shatterscarp. For what it's worth, her theory is sound. She could stop the Dream Scourge. In Shatterscarp, at least.
A few dozen people may die. Possibly 100 or so in the more dire scenarios. There is no control over who will perish in the process. But it will stop the Dream Scourge from spreading in Shatterscarp. No new Dream Thralls will be created.
I once thought of pursuing such an idea, but only after careful study. What she suggests is anything but careful.
It's not an ideal solution. But it is easier to save a life when you've amputated the necrotic limb, so to speak.
She would sacrifice the very people we're trying to save, and for what? Not even to destroy the Dream Scourge. Merely to slow it down.
Destroying the ruins and killing the Dream Thralls within is also a short-term measure. Ludwine's solution will eventually result in the same number of casualties, possibly even more.
If such an alternative existed, I'd have suggested it already.
So long as the Dream Scourge exists, more people will become infected. And the infected will take more lives, and this will continue indefinitely.
She has no idea what the consequences of her actions might be. And neither do you. Envoy, I want to show you something. I swore an oath to my goddess. A solemn vow that I would give everything in service to her. Even myself. And I did so, gladly. Sapadal wants the same devotion from you. The only difference is, you never had a choice. And a long time since anyone truly saw me. Huh. Look at the consequences of their stewardship. Plague, calamity, death. The living lands deserves better. Envoy, we have an obligation to scour Sapadal from the living lands before they destroy us. Starting with these ruins. Whatever you do, make sure the decision is yours, not theirs. Sapadal will poison your judgment if you let them. You owe Sapadal nothing, and yet they demand everything. That is not devotion. It's cruel.
What an amateur. She accuses Sapadal of what she intends to inflict on you. Don't fall for it.
Yes, quite difficult to decide whether to believe your new god or the angry skeleton actively threatening us.
Godlike. I leave the choice to you. Both options will bring harm. The question is, which will bring more good? Perhaps not. But one of these solutions will bring an end to the matter in Shatterscarp. Remember the village and the statue it couldn't repair. Remember the lesson I tried to teach you. None of our lives matters. Not when they might cost us the future. Now choose, Envoy. Destroy the ruins and the Dream Thralls, but allow the plague to keep spreading. Or sever the Aedyr and end the plague in Shatterscarp, with an unknowable number of casualties.
She toys with you with innocent lives, while I offer only the truth.
Good people die either way, but severing the Aedyr shortens their suffering, I hope.
Breaking the Aedyr is a bold choice, but it's such a terrible cost. If only we had time to do it with some finesse. But Quilici... Gods, if there's even a chance he could... No, I can't think of that right now. Then again, it's not as if I trust Ludwig. The dead have no right to choose for the living. I'm at a loss. Whatever you do, make sure you believe in it, because there's no going back.
Call it an experiment. To see if a mortal can think of futures beyond one's lifetime. And be less sentimental than the village about its statue. Also, I rather loathe the Inquisitor. She's far too used to getting her own way.
Ideological and self-absorbed. You hold a blade to the throat of my soldiers, but that's no excuse for wasting my time. Envoy, I hate to be in this position, but at least the choice is in Aedyran hands. So choose.
Oh, what a relief. You really scared me there, Envoy.
I don't like our options, but maybe we can learn something from this one. Let's just hope Quilici is all right.
So be it. Sapadal's hold over you is stronger than I suspected.
Rune, strengthen the living leaves. We twine.
Attune your soul to Sapadal to assist my focus on the Aedyr. You're the only one who can do that part. And Yatsley, come, help me. I think you'll enjoy this.
Marinzos clavan, ed marslante.
I am delighted to have been right about you. I was hoping you'd have the cold logic I wanted to see. We've dealt with the Dream Scourge, but you'll still have some cleaning up to do. Now that I know this was all because of a new god flailing in their cage, the Living Lands is no longer of interest to me. Another god. There are so many. If a new one is more aberrant than another, does it really matter? But that is for you to wrestle with. I'm done here. However, I have one final question for your young wizard.
For... me?
You have shown a great deal of talent, Yatsley. Few can harness so much essence with ease. I could use your assistance. And the companionship. It's really dreary being alone. Should you wish to return with me, I would happily take you on as my apprentice. The rest of the circle do not often visit, which is good because they're tiresome. You, however, are a power worth shaping, and rather delightful to boot.
Well, obviously I'm... Wait. Really? You want me to... Wow. That would be... amazing! But I have to think about it. At the very least, the envoy would be lost without me. And so would my lover. Though the idea of finally devoting more time to magic is... tempting.
Yes, my work will still be there even when this world is in ruins. Which, hopefully, won't happen. Whatever you decide, it will be some months before I depart. You know where to find me. Be clever, godlike. Don't think too much with your heart.
He wasn't supposed to claim our people!
I can't believe the Inquisitor allowed this.
Why are we deferring to that maniac Ring?
What is done is done. Do not waste your breath justifying it to me. Countless innocent lives cut short, even my own soldiers. And for what? Make no mistake, there will be a reckoning for the chaos you unleashed here. At least now I have a better idea of who is pulling your strings. Will anyone live to see it? Or will you enjoy it alone from atop a mountain of corpses? Envoy, need I remind you why the Emperor sent you? To burn out a threat at any cost. To impose order where chaos reigns. If you and Heelguard are too spineless to remember your allegiance, I'll have to finish the job myself. All I wanted to do was protect Shatterscarp. Give it the chance that Fior Messiverno did not have. Unusual, isn't it? How you spared one settlement and condemned another. Not fast enough to outpace what is coming for them.
You underestimated us from the beginning. It was a mistake then, and it is a mistake now.
A word of warning, Envoy. You and I are running out of opportunities to save the living lands from itself. I allowed you to dictate the terms of this meeting. I won't make that mistake twice. Our paths will cross again. No doubt sooner than you think. One more thing, Envoy. I know what happened to Captain Alfear. You fought valiantly, and she fell in disgrace. But now you have a debt to the Steel Garrote. And one day, I will collect it.
What a vile, intolerant creature.
It wasn't supposed to claim our people!
We need to talk. You let a mad archmage unleash death with a spell. I need to know why. Is that our answer now? Do we extract that price from every settlement in the Living Lands?
What is the alternative? That we allow the Dream Scourge to spread unchecked?
I don't know. Maybe.
Fuitu meio. That choice shouldn't be in anyone's hands.
Then why did we leave it to that archmage?
Reengrim knows more about the Dream Scourge than we do, and we know more than most others do. She found a great solution, but it came with a great cost. What more could we expect?
Do you hear yourself? You both saw what kind of person she is. The twisted little world she built for herself. If ending the Dream Scourge means handing our fate to someone like her, then perhaps it's not worth the cost.
Kai, let's be honest. None of us are walking away from this with a clean conscience. But unless someone makes the tough decisions, the Dream Scourge will kill us all. Or worse. That means living with our nightmares. Embracing them if we must.
Right. Getting killed by monsters is one thing, but turning into one...
We stand here bickering while the solution is just over the horizon. Nothing matters but the garden. Shatterscarp, even Emerald Stair. They're distractions by comparison.
So, we found a map to the garden. Now we see how accurate those ancient godless cartographers could possibly be. Not sure how helpful that map will be, really. There's probably a reason no one's been to the garden in centuries. That'll be cold comfort when everyone thinks I'm crazy for saying I've been there. I figure either it's a complete dud and there's nothing really there, or we all lose our minds the second we show up. Either way, was it worth it? Who knows? And that's all that matters, I guess. Let's go. Anyway. Thanks for talking. Never thought it. Listen, that back there, in the ruins, that was a lot. I know you passed 3 trials, but I'm not sure what that means, exactly. I don't know. Maybe you're the chosen one now. Some kind of prophecy. You don't look that different to me. It's not that I didn't enjoy tromping around in the ancient death trap, getting bossed around by spirits and all that. But I really do hope this was the last time. That kind of humidity does terrible things to my beard. Anyway. Until next time.
Envoy, we need to discuss what you did in the ruins. I just hope we made the right decision. Those ruins are priceless, and I truly look forward to exploring them again in the future, but I don't know that I'll ever truly accept what we did. What I did. Usually I know the right answer. It's obvious. Here, though... I know. We've seen enough pain caused by the Dream Scourge. Things have been... unreal. We spoke to actual ancient Aedyrs in the ruins. I was able to ask questions and get answers. And it's all thanks to you and your weird god, Sapidal, was it? Oh, big fan. But to go through the trials ourselves? Oh, could we be any luckier? Fascinating. I can't imagine what it was like to grow up a godlike with no god. I'm glad you got answers, sweetheart. Well, I have to start writing this all down before I forget. But do return if you think of any other juicy details. I've been trying to sort my thoughts since we left her domain. We met Ringrim. The Ringrim. Master Illusionist of the Circle of Archmagi. And we impressed her? She even offered to make me her apprentice. You have to know the rules before you break them, Envoy. And I plan to break the rules thoroughly. It doesn't feel real, but it is. Oh, Handra's titties. What am I going to do? If I take the apprenticeship, I'll have to leave Quilici and Fjord. And what about my study of the Godless? I've spent my whole life with them. Oh, you even learned their proper name. I can't believe you listened. You'll make me cry at this rate. I'm not a kid anymore. I can't do everything all at once. There are only 26 hours in a day. I love my life as it is now. Exploring as I wish and coming home to open arms and a warm bed. I don't want to give that up. But this is something I never even dreamed of. But it's big. It won't leave room for much else. And I'm too old to... Oh, Envoy. What would you do? Oh, darling. Don't you know that I'll do what I want no matter what anyone thinks? I just wish to ask a friend his opinion. Now come on. Answer the question. What would you do? The people of Fjord are stronger than they seem. But you're right. They feel unsafe in their own homes now. Quilici and I could return home and continue our lives, with little improvements here and there. Thank you, dearie. I can't promise I'll act on it, but I really appreciate the advice. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to write a letter to Quilici. He'll never believe me.
Can we talk a moment? I wanted to pick your brain about Shatterscarp. How much do you really know about Adra? Not bad. Adra is a physical manifestation of a metaphysical phenomenon. A mineral that takes our souls from death to rebirth. We severed the Adra and Naku Kubel to slow down the Dream Scourge. But at what cost? That would be putting it lightly. The souls of the dead who go looking for a passage to the beyond will have nowhere to go. They'll be lost in darkness. Some will find their way to an Adra pillar, far from Shatterscarp. But others could wander this land for centuries. A watcher, maybe. It's a shame we haven't got one. Try as we might to help others, we won't always succeed. Even the dead can suffer the consequences of our actions. I just wish the world and its problems would leave us alone. Even for a moment. Give us time to focus on our mission. Ourselves. As do I. We both deserve a little peace. And if the world will not give it to us, then we'll just find it in each other. While I have your ear, can I ask you one more question? Much appreciated. Something about Inquisitor Ludwine has been getting to me. She seemed eager to distinguish your Aedyran loyalty from your nature as a godlike, as though the two are incompatible. She believes you can be loyal to your country or to your nature, but not both. Do you find that unusual? Indeed, it does. It's just... when you rejected Ludwine's offer, she wasn't surprised. As though she saw it coming. Ludwine clearly respects you, but I don't believe she trusts you. Maybe she never has. Anyway, that just had me thinking. Could be nothing, or could be something. Time will tell. Get some rest. You deserve a nap. For that matter, so do I. For you, anything. The better question is, can I still be an Animancer? Could I even make a difference? As long as Fior Messiverno is safe, the living lands will have Animancers, whether or not I am one of them. And then there's the Dream Scourge, unraveling civilization as we know it. I don't know where that leaves me. The work my parents started may have no end in sight. We don't even know if the living lands can be tamed politically, much less spiritually. All of my discoveries have led to dead ends. Where then do I turn? All I know for certain is that I've been going about this the wrong way. I should be an Animancer for the right reason. With the Dream Scourge, I haven't got one. When I do, I'll be sure to let you know. After all, you've been so patient with me. You deserve a little closure. Not before I've done some reading.
How could they? Beloved that you are, and still they bared their fangs. We blessed the Tabaru and they prick us in return. Blood on the wire. Roots like a wall. We only meant to protect. We thrashed against the blinding light to keep the Aedyr safe. We never wanted this. So many seedlings lost. We grieved, but we saved many. The burned queen. She hurt us, hurt our people. She did this. Yet still the branches swipe. We mourn, we could not be to blame. They should have shared our love. Their spite? This we could not foresee. But you are here. A green shoot after the fire. You would not raise your hand against us. The blossom of trust, a hand as soft as the breeze. Sleep now. Dream of golden poppies on the road ahead.
Three dozen dead, of no apparent causes. They just fell over. Like their hearts were stopped in their chest. What did you do, Envoy? I know you're involved somehow. Bullshit. There was always another option. Something better than this massacre. Dozens are dead, Envoy. Their loved ones scream for them. What was all this for? The costs were too great, Envoy. And you paid them with third-born blood. I hope your fucking decisions haunt you forever. You've cost so many families their loved ones. You have my permission to go anywhere else. Get out of my sight, Envoy. They didn't deserve to die like this.
It's strange to see so few folks around now. I'll have to raise prices to account for the loss.
What an awful tragedy. So many gone in an instant.
Darling! Oh, I knew you'd be fine, of course, but it's... Oh, it's so good to see you.
I am as hale and whole as you left me, my dear. Though notably less hearty.
Thank goodness you're all right. That spell could have killed you.
Never fear, Giata. The gods aren't finished with me yet. Not since the attack on Fjord have I seen people in such a frenzy. Our misfortune followed us here. As it always does, in time. My people will assist Thirdborn through this crisis. It's the least we can do for the city that protected us. Wherever you go next, may the gods look after you.
Keep yourself safe, my love. I'll come home to you soon.
Not soon enough.
Look after yourself, old man. You got lucky today. But everyone's luck runs out eventually.
Thank you for the humbling reminder, Giata. For your sake, and that of Yatsli, I will endure.
I swear, that man has more lives than a cat.
I feel like I can breathe again.
Temerity sent word. She said you can go. I'm sorry, Envoy. I don't have much more to say. You were responsible for all this death. But I hope you don't end up the same way, too. Safe travels to you.
Ludwig may have a skull for a face, but her fury was clear enough. If her path crosses ours again, it'll be ugly.
Frankly, I'll take any opportunity we get to ruin Ludwig's day.
I'll say this much for the Inquisitor. She's stubborn, like a rat. We've thwarted her twice now, but she keeps burrowing deeper into the living lands.
I'd say we shouldn't stay on her bad side, but I'm not sure she has any other sides.
You know her better than any of us. What's your read? That's the spirit. Now we just need a pack of terriers.
Oh, gods, terriers? I wouldn't wish them on my worst... got it.
Well, the joke's on her in any case. Ludwig won't get very far without that map. She'll be scratching her skull.
Somehow, I don't think she'll let that stop her for long.
And Ludwig definitely strikes me as someone who doesn't leave food on her plate.
I believe it. And we'll cross that bridge with you when we get to it.
Ludwig and her steel garrote have the numbers and the power, but we have spunk and a map. And that might just be enough to find the garden before she does.
We're all competing for the same thing. A place we barely understand, with no guarantees of what we'll find there. Still, I am determined to reach the garden, above all else.
Ugh, that's just a pile of Sokka. Oh, now you're listening to me, all of a sack of sup sudden. You won't find a blessed a thing. This wild beetle chase of yours is a Padraku waste of time. To get to the garden, you have to go through Galawain's tusks. The land is made of lava and acid. It wants to eat you alive.
So it's tough odds. We've gotten this far together.
Tough odds is an extra Zarb jumping in at the last minute. This is a long trek, on foot, through a land that can barely support life. I don't have to be a Blessed Oracle to know this won't go how you think it will. Following my destiny is a good way of saying ignoring all logic and reason and getting myself killed. What do you know about Soppadal? How do you know you can trust them? That's good for you. What about the rest of us, huh? Will your secret god bring us all back or just you?
What's on your mind, Marius? What bothers you so?
Because I can scream until I'm blue in the face, and you people would still rather trust the Envoy's pet headache demon. And now you want to drag us through the deadliest region in the world because a sleeping god said so. Oh, I've been acting odd. Me. Need I remind you that we're talking about jumping off a cliff because your head voices tell us to? I'm done here. Do whatever blessed planning you want to do. You don't need me for that.
Let's just take a breath, Marius. You don't mean that.
Nope. I said what I said. Come get me when it's time to go.
Poor Marius. Something's really rattled him.
I've never seen Marius like this. Something's going on with him, but I don't know what.
Be gentle with him. Or if not gentle, understanding.
Well, hopefully Marius will be okay soon. We have to get going if we want to get to the garden before Ludwig.
We won't get far unless we look after each other. Now's your chance.
I know what you're gonna say. Marius, you need to slow down. Think about your feelings. Well, I don't want to think about my feelings. So just let me be alone for a bit. How should I know? I don't know what's going on in my head half the time. Just the thought of going back to Galawain's tusks makes my heart feel like it's going to explode. I sweat, my ears ring, I can't breathe. When it seems like we're really heading there, I feel like I'm dying. Right. Thanks. I understand not wanting to go back, but why can't I just thinking about it makes me feel ill. I need some time alone, Envoy. I need to get some rest. I'll be ready to go when the time comes.
Galawain's gonads. There isn't enough perfume in Eora. You lived here.
Always thought that if I ever came back here, I'd never...
Oh, dearie. Do you need some smelling salts?
I'm fine. I just need a moment.